I'd like to discuss the effects of addiction on the family. This is Dr. Owenbrink representing Blue Ridge Family Practice. Addiction has been called a family disease. There are many reasons for this. Family members are very often guilty of unwittingly enabling the addict to continue with their disease, making it easier for them to get worse instead of better. Addiction has genetic underpinnings. If one parent is susceptible to addiction, whether they choose to use or not, there is at least a 50% chance that offspring will have the gene. If both parents carry the gene, the chance of passing it on are closer to 100%. The genetics of addiction probably involve numerous genes. They're thus complex and not yet fully understood. A review of family history will often reveal members of the family tree who were alcoholic, addicted, suffered from emotional mental disorders, or died early. Suicide is often associated with addiction. Recall that mental health is a relatively new field of study. Even a generation ago, somebody may have been considered not right in the head, avoided, or outright shunned, and not talked about in family discussions and not present at family reunions. Obviously, the addict's behavior has wide-ranging effects on not only the immediate nuclear, but often the more extended family members as well. Many families with the presence of addiction attribute addictive behavior to normal. It's the only behavior we've ever known. Families are often thought of as being only as sick as their secrets. We learned at a tender young age that there are certain things we just don't talk about outside of the family. Of course, this simply perpetuates the problem. Codependence can be considered as another aspect of addiction. It can be considered an addiction all to itself. One is addicted to the addict that they are enmeshed with and their codependence. Family members enable the addicts to continue their own behavior in many ways, calling in sick for them when they're unable to attend to their responsibilities due to effects of the substance or behavior or its withdrawal, tolerating and hiding unacceptable behavior. Accepting unacceptable behavior makes it acceptable. Divorce and failed relationships are often due directly or indirectly to addictive behaviors. This may be frustration in dealing with the ism of alcoholism or drugism. Ism means I, self, and me. I'm not much, but I'm all I think about. Such behavior has its limits and is rarely tolerated forever. So what is a family member to do about this? There are groups such as Narcanon, CODA, Codependence Anonymous, Al-Anon. These are the groups that are good for the loved ones, friends and family members of the addicted person. They tend to help people understand how to set proper boundaries. Proper boundaries can be difficult on a good day dealing with normal people. When you take an addict, things that a spouse would do to help their spouse, or a child or a parent would do to help the other, could be very harmful and enable this poor behavior. Having a sponsor in the non-type of programs is very essential for the family members and friends of the addict, because that sponsor is not as emotionally involved in the decisions and can help identify a more healthy boundary in many ways. These healthy boundaries then make it easier for the addict to recover. Since their unacceptable behavior is no longer tolerated, it sort of helps them to see where they're going wrong and the fact that there can be a solution to the problems that they've inflicted upon themselves.